you made the point that there's a lot of risk. These are people's money, their futures. So understandably, there has to be some risk aversion, or at least, manage the risk really well. But we also see like a career risk. Folks who at these legacy firms may not want to take a stand, if you will. Like why would I go talk about these bold ideas and go execute on those when, as we all know, there's going to be a lot more failure than success. And so that's just the way innovation works. Or maybe there's a retirement risk in the sense that a lot of leaders are within few years of retirement. So again, why take these big, bold risks when you're almost at the finish line? So understanding all that, do you have any, I don't know if it's advice per se, but just any comments to those legacy firms as they consider innovation, as they consider strategic partnerships with a firm like yours? What would you say to them?
I think it's the probably the key is those strategic partnerships, and the reason is oftentimes it's more a function of environment than it is necessarily industry constraints or a lot of these things. And so when you come to a startup and there's a very different vibe, there is a very different feeling. You know that you can kind of go out on a limb, say something that know, maybe a little far out there and not be criticized for it, not worry that your job is at risk. And so to try to create those environments within these large established organizations, you can have success, but they need a lot of autonomy from the organization itself, because part of the organizational structure that gives them the scale that makes them these formidable entities is the fact that they have a very controlled environment where you do reduce kind of that internal risk. And so you do that through a lot of controls and systems and checks, but it's the same controls and systems that checks that impact the innovation. I remember in school we did a case study on 3M and Six Sigma and some of these other kind of operating protocols. And what they found is as they tried to implement like Six Sigma, it actually severely impacted over like a phase of 3 to 5 years or whatever that they were doing this, where the number of patents and innovation reduced significantly, because with Six Sigma it's about like reducing errors and that sort of thing, where if you're an innovative firm like 3M, you're trying to find new adhesives and new solutions, you do need to allow for failure. And so I think it's a challenge that is part of these organizations. And rather than fight it, I think it's better to partner with a firm that has that full autonomy to operate in a very different way than these larger, more established organizations.